Have you ever noticed subtle changes in someone you care about and wondered if they're signs of something more serious? Maybe it's not just the way they've slowed down physically or how they've become quieter lately. It could be something deeper. Today we're going to have an important conversation about 5 silent signs that may reveal someone is in their final year of life. This isn't about fear or panic, but about recognizing these signs so we can provide better care, understanding, and love when it's most needed. After all, awareness is the first step in making a meaningful difference. Before we dive in, let me say this. Aging is a natural part of life, and not all changes mean something dire. Many of us experience small, gradual shifts as we grow older. It's part of living. However, certain signs can be subtle warnings that something more significant is happening, and being attuned to them can help us respond with compassion and preparedness. Let's start with a scenario you might find familiar. You're visiting a loved one who's always been vibrant and full of life. But now, you notice they've been losing weight without trying. Their clothes hang looser, their face looks thinner, and their energy seems diminished. They brush it off, saying they're just not as hungry these days. But unexplained weight loss, particularly in older adults, is often the body's way of signaling that something isn't quite right. It could be tied to various factors, from changes in metabolism to underlying health conditions, including chronic illnesses or even cancer. But it's not just about the physical changes you see, it's about what's going on beneath the surface. Weight loss can also indicate a decrease in muscle mass and strength, which makes everyday activities more challenging. If you notice this in someone you care about, start by gently asking questions. Have you been eating less, or have you noticed feeling weaker lately? A compassionate conversation can open the door to understanding and help you figure out if they need a doctor's input. Now let's shift to something less visible, but just as significant. Changes in behavior. Imagine this. A friend who's always been the life of the party now seems withdrawn. They're skipping gatherings, avoiding phone calls, and spending more time alone. You chalk it up to getting older, but this withdrawal could point to something deeper, like depression or even cognitive decline. Depression in older adults often goes unnoticed because people assume it's a natural response to aging, but it's not. It's a serious condition that can affect physical health and overall quality of life. Behavioral changes can also signal cognitive issues, such as the early stages of dementia. If you notice your loved one struggling to remember names, losing track of conversations, or misplacing everyday items more often, these could be early signs. Again, approach these moments with kindness instead of confronting them directly. You might say, "I've noticed you've been a bit quieter lately. Is everything okay?" Giving them space to share their feelings can make all the difference. Another sign to watch for is declining energy levels. Of course, it's normal to feel a little more tired as we age, but when fatigue becomes overwhelming and persistent, it could be a warning sign. Maybe they've stopped going on their daily walks or they're taking longer naps than usual. Sometimes this can be a sign of heart or lung issues, anemia, or even undiagnosed sleep disorders. But it can also reflect emotional factors like a lack of purpose or loneliness. What can you do if you notice this? Start by encouraging small steps. Suggest a short walk together or invite them to join you for a light activity. If they're open to it, a visit to their doctor might uncover a treatable condition or at least provide clarity. Physical pain is another silent signal that often goes unspoken, especially among older adults who don't want to seem like a burden. Perhaps they're wincing when they move, sitting awkwardly to avoid discomfort, or subtly avoiding tasks that used to be second nature. Chronic pain isn't just a physical challenge, it can impact mood, sleep, and overall quality of life. Conditions like arthritis, untreated injuries, or even internal issues like organ problems can manifest in this way. If you notice someone hiding their pain, it's essential to approach the subject gently. Say something like, "I've noticed you seem a little uncomfortable. Are you feeling okay?" Often this simple question can open the door to understanding what they're going through and help you figure out how to assist them in finding relief. Finally, let's talk about changes in their outlook on life. When someone starts talking about getting their affairs in order or reminiscing about the past more than usual, it's worth paying attention. This doesn't necessarily mean they're aware of their mortality, but it could indicate they're reflecting deeply and perhaps feeling a sense of closure. This introspection is natural for many people as they age, but combined with other signs we've discussed, it may be part of a bigger picture. Listening, truly listening, is one of the most meaningful ways to show you care. Encourage them to share their thoughts and feelings. Ask open-ended questions like, "What's been on your mind lately?" Or, "Is there anything you'd like to talk about?" Providing a safe space for them to express themselves can be a tremendous comfort. Each of these signs, weight loss, behavioral changes, fatigue, physical pain, and a shifting outlook, are pieces of a larger puzzle. Alone, they might not mean much. Together, they can offer a clearer picture of someone's health and well-being. By staying alert and compassionate, you can make a real difference in their journey. As we continue this heartfelt conversation, it's important to remember that the signs we're discussing aren't meant to instill fear, but to inspire awareness and action. Recognizing subtle changes in someone's health and behavior can empower us to provide meaningful support and care. Let's delve deeper into the next set of signs that could indicate someone may be in their final year of life, and what we can do to respond with compassion. Imagine this scenario. You notice a loved one struggling with something that once seemed so routine, like walking up the stairs, buttoning a shirt, or even holding a conversation without becoming short of breath. These physical difficulties might seem like normal aging at first glance, but they could point to a decline in overall physical resilience. Over time, the body's ability to recover from everyday stress diminishes, and these struggles can be a silent sign that the body is no longer functioning at its peak. If you notice this, start by offering help in a non-intrusive way. For example, say, "I've noticed the stairs seem a bit challenging. Would you like me to walk with you or help carry things upstairs?" This not only provides immediate assistance, but also opens the door for them to share how they're feeling. Sometimes their response might reveal more than what you've observed, giving you a fuller picture of their physical state. Another key sign is a noticeable decline in appetite or changes in eating habits. It's not just about eating less. It's about why they're eating less. Maybe they say food doesn't taste as good as it used to, or they complain of feeling full after only a few bites. While it's common for appetite to decrease slightly with age, a significant change can indicate something more serious, like digestive issues, depression, or even a side effect of medication. In some cases, it could be a sign that the body is starting to conserve energy, which often happens in the later stages of life. Approaching this subject requires sensitivity. Instead of pointing out their eating habits directly, you might say, "I've been thinking about making your favorite dish. What sounds good to you lately?" This invites them to share their preferences and feelings without pressure. If they mention a lack of appetite, it might be time to gently suggest they speak with their doctor to explore possible causes. Let's talk about something that's often harder to notice, but just as important: emotional detachment. You might find that someone who used to be deeply engaged with family, friends, or hobbies now seems indifferent. They're not as excited about upcoming events, and their once bright spark seems dimmed. Emotional withdrawal can stem from physical exhaustion, but it can also be linked to feelings of sadness, isolation, or even an awareness of their declining health. If you sense this detachment, try to reintroduce joy into their life in small ways. Share a memory or photo that reminds them of happier times, or suggest a simple activity you can do together, like watching a favorite movie. Saying something, like, "I really miss seeing you smile. What can we do today that might bring you a little joy?" shows them you care and are willing to meet them where they are emotionally. Another significant yet often overlooked sign is difficulty in managing daily tasks. Perhaps they've always been meticulous about their finances, but now bills are piling up. Maybe their once spotless home is starting to look cluttered or neglected. These changes can stem from physical limitations, cognitive decline, or even a loss of motivation due to feelings of futility or fatigue. When you notice this, avoid jumping to conclusions or expressing criticism. Instead, offer assistance in a way that feels collaborative. Say something like, "I know you've got a lot on your plate. Can I help organize these bills with you? Or maybe we can tackle some of the cleaning together." Offering support without judgment can help them feel less overwhelmed and more open to accepting help. Finally, one of the most profound yet subtle signs is a shift in how they view the future. If you hear them speaking less about upcoming plans and more about past experiences, this could be a sign they're reflecting on their life. They might talk about things they regret not doing or share stories they've never spoken about before. This kind of introspection is often accompanied by a desire to tie up loose ends, like reaching out to estranged loved ones or giving away cherished belongings. When someone begins expressing these thoughts, listen without interrupting. Say something like, "That's such a beautiful memory. Tell me more about that time." Encouraging them to share can be deeply comforting and affirming for them. It also gives you insight into their emotional state and helps you understand what matters most to them as they reflect on their journey. As we've explored these signs, physical struggles, changes in appetite, emotional detachment, difficulty, managing tasks, and shifts in perspective are not always easy to notice. They require patience, attention, and above all, empathy. Remember, the goal isn't to diagnose or fix, but to be present and supportive. By recognizing these subtle shifts, you can help create a space where your loved one feels seen, heard, and cared for, which is perhaps the most profound gift you can give. As we move further into this conversation, it's vital to hold on to the understanding that recognizing these signs is not about predicting the inevitable. Instead, it's about cherishing every moment we have and ensuring that we provide the best support possible. Let's continue exploring the subtle signals that might indicate someone is nearing the final chapter of their life. One of the most poignant signs is a noticeable decline in mobility and balance. You might see someone moving more slowly, holding onto furniture for support, or avoiding activities they once loved, like gardening or walking to the park. This change isn't just about weaker muscles or stiff joints. It can also signal neurological changes or the early stages of conditions like Parkinson's disease. Falls, even minor ones, are particularly significant. A single fall can sometimes indicate a deeper issue, such as frailty or a progressing illness. If you notice this, encourage safe mobility without making them feel self-conscious. Suggest using a cane or walker if needed, and emphasize that these tools are about maintaining independence rather than losing it. You might say, "Let's find a way to make sure you feel steady and secure when you're walking. What do you think about trying this cane?" Showing that you're on their side can make them more receptive to help. Another subtle yet impactful change to watch for is a shift in their sleep patterns. Perhaps they're sleeping more during the day and staying awake at night, or they're waking frequently and feeling unrested. This could be due to physical discomfort, such as pain or breathing difficulties, but it can also be linked to psychological factors like anxiety or unresolved emotions. In some cases, these shifts reflect the body's natural way of conserving energy as it prepares for the later stages of life. Start by gently asking how they've been sleeping. If they're open to it, encourage them to speak with a healthcare provider. Sometimes small changes, like adjusting their sleeping environment or introducing calming routines before bed, can make a world of difference. More importantly, this conversation shows them you care and are attuned to their needs. Another sign that often goes unnoticed is a change in their voice or the way they speak. Maybe their voice sounds weaker or more strained, or they pause frequently to catch their breath. These changes might result from respiratory issues, dehydration, or even a deeper underlying condition like heart failure. Speaking less overall could also indicate they're conserving energy or feeling emotionally withdrawn. If you pick up on these changes, encourage hydration and rest, while also making communication as easy as possible. Instead of asking them to explain or repeat themselves, practice patience and attentiveness. You might say, "Take your time, I'm here to listen." This reassurance can ease any frustration they might feel about being heard. Let's not forget the importance of emotional and spiritual well-being in these moments. Some people begin expressing a sense of peace or acceptance about their life. They might talk about finishing their work or feeling ready to let go. While this might feel heavy to hear, it's a natural part of the human experience for many. It's their way of finding closure and making peace with the journey they've traveled. In response, your role isn't to counter their feelings or push for positivity, but to provide a space for open dialogue. Say something like, "It sounds like you've been reflecting a lot. I'd love to hear more about what's been on your mind." By showing acceptance and curiosity, you create an environment where they feel safe to express their innermost thoughts. Finally, a significant sign is a decline in their ability to engage with the world around them. They might seem less interested in conversations, stop engaging with hobbies, or avoid social interactions altogether. This could stem from physical exhaustion, emotional overwhelm, or even a sense of detachment from the present moment. If you notice this, approach with gentle encouragement rather than pushing. Suggest activities that align with their energy levels, like listening to music, looking through photo albums, or simply sitting together in silence. Sometimes your presence alone is the greatest gift you can offer. Recognizing these signs and responding with empathy requires patience and sensitivity. Each small action, from holding their hand to sharing a quiet moment, can bring immense comfort. Remember, this journey is as much about love and connection as it is about care. By being present, you're showing your loved one that they're not alone and that their life, in all its stages, is deeply valued. As we come to the final part of this journey, it's essential to reflect on the immense strength and love it takes to support someone during their most vulnerable moments. Recognizing the subtle signs we've discussed so far is not just about preparing for what's to come, it's about deepening our connection with our loved ones and ensuring they feel surrounded by care and understanding. Let's explore the remaining signals that may indicate the nearing end of life and how we can respond with compassion and grace. One of the most profound signs is a noticeable decrease in energy levels. You might find that tasks requiring minimal effort, like sitting up in bed or brushing their hair, become exhausting. This extreme fatigue is not the same as feeling tired after a busy day. It's a deeper, more persistent weariness that reflects the body's natural slowing down. When someone spends more time sleeping or resting, it's a signal that their body is focusing its energy on essential functions. In these moments, the best thing you can do is honor their need for rest. Create a peaceful environment where they feel comfortable and unhurried. Offer gentle reassurance by saying, "Take all the time you need. I'm here if you need anything." Small gestures, like adjusting their pillows or bringing a warm blanket, can provide immense comfort and show that you're attuned to their needs. Another subtle but meaningful sign is changes in their breathing. You might notice periods of rapid breaths followed by pauses or a shift in their breathing rhythm. While this can be unsettling to witness, it's often a natural part of the body's transition. Sometimes these changes are accompanied by a gurgling sound which, while harmless, can be distressing for family members to hear. If you notice this, remember that your presence is more powerful than words. Sit quietly by their side, holding their hand or simply being near. If the sound of their breathing concerns you, consider using a humidifier or positioning them upright to ease any discomfort. Reassure them with a calm voice, saying something like, "I'm right here with you," to help them feel secure. Another sign to be mindful of is changes in skin color or temperature. Their hands or feet might feel cooler, or you may notice a bluish or purplish tint, particularly on the extremities. These changes occur as blood circulation slows down, a natural part of the body's preparation for the final stages of life. When you observe these physical changes, focus on providing warmth and comfort. Use soft blankets and avoid anything that might feel restrictive or uncomfortable. Gentle massages with lotion can not only improve circulation, but also offer a soothing touch that communicates your love and care. A deeply emotional sign is the way they might begin to withdraw further from the external world, focusing instead on their inner experiences. They may seem less interested in conversations or become less responsive to what's happening around them. This inward turn is not about disinterest or avoidance. It's a natural process of letting go. During this time, it's important to honor their need for quiet while still being present. Speak softly, share words of love, or simply sit together in silence. Even if they don't respond, your presence will be felt. You might say, "I'm here with you." You don't have to say anything if you're not feeling up to it. This gentle reassurance can be a profound source of comfort. Finally, one of the most beautiful and intimate signs is their desire to share final messages or express unfinished thoughts. They may say things like, "I love you," "Thank you for everything," or even ask for forgiveness. These moments are gifts, offering a chance for closure and connection that can remain with you long after they're gone. When these moments arise, listen without interruption. Hold their hand, look into their eyes, and let them know you hear them. Respond with affirmations like, "I love you too," or "You've been such an important part of my life." These exchanges are deeply meaningful, not only for them, but also for you. As we conclude this discussion, it's important to remember that these signs are not a checklist, but a guide to help us navigate the emotional and physical realities of supporting someone in their final year of life. Every individual's journey is unique, shaped by their personality, experiences, and the love surrounding them. The most powerful gift you can offer during this time is your presence. Whether through words, actions, or simply being there, your love and care will create a lasting impact. These moments, though often bittersweet, can become treasured memories of connection, compassion, and humanity. Before you go, I want to invite you to join this community by subscribing to the channel. If this video has touched your heart or offered some clarity, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need this guidance. Let's spread the message of love and understanding together. And in the comments, feel free to share your experiences or ask questions. Your story could be the light someone else needs. Thank you for being here and for your willingness to support and honor the lives of those you love. Remember, every moment of connection is a gift. Let's cherish them all.